Welcome back to the ultimate four-wheel drive adventure, Carnage Canyon Edition. Drivers left Sutgurung Lodge early this morning and made their way into the surrounding mountains near Polokwane, making their way down Carnage Canyon towards the campsite that is roughly 4.2 kilometers into the unknown. At this point, they've been going for 3 hours and have been making surprisingly good time at a solid pace. Lawrence Nolte taking his top truck over that obstacle and raking up the points as he moves along. Nicholas Harris and his co-driver Ludwig Schaffer driving in a 2009 Jeep Rubicon with 40-inch Maxxis Trepador tires. The Rock Jock Dana front axle coming in handy in situations such as this. The clearance provided by these huge tires making life that much easier. Notice the coil-over suspension at the rear of the vehicle. Very impressive indeed. Making their way forward is Thomas Butler, with Derek Stemmetz still hanging out the side. Derek clearly doesn't like getting his feet wet. The driving style for this kind of adventure is one of utter control. Thomas is deliberately looking for higher ground. This is the best way to avoid damage to the diff. This is a good rule of thumb out here. Sticking to the line on the highest point of an obstacle is most often the best route to take, but not always the easiest. Coming up behind him is Martin Ferreira and Johan van Wyk. These two showing the guys what extreme angles their Pajero can handle. Coming to the next big obstacle. The guys line up to come see what lies ahead, the whole time keeping an eye on the weather. Hoping the rain will stay away, as the canyon is challenging enough without wet conditions making things even trickier. Nicholas, in his yellow Jeep, tries to push his vehicle beyond what it's done before. An almost 90-degree angle, he slips and slides as traction evades him. He rolls back to attack the steep incline with a bit more punch, hoping the momentum will give him what he needs to get over. We can see how soft those tires are in an effort to maximize his grip surface. Unfortunately, sounds like something went wrong there. His front wheel's not pulling at the moment. Nicholas, what went wrong?
Yeah, first time for me. Worn out broken. Luckily we've got JK accessories here, so we'll do a trial repair. Shane Kemp is one of the best guys known in the Jeep industry, so shortly we'll be 4x4 again.
Okay. And how's this going to affect you for the next part until you guys get a fix?
Yeah, I don't know. I've got, the river changes every month with the water coming down, so we don't know how it's changed. Hopefully it plays in our favor. but we're going to be trying it with 3 wheels only. This sounds like more fun.
Yeah, it's going to make it a little bit more challenging, but yeah, keep the front locker locked and you should be on your way.
How long about does a repair like this take?
It's about 3 hours.
No
It'll be a
joke.
late night.
No joke.
No jokes.
The rest of the convoy are making their way up the river towards the campsite. The bright orange flags are the signal that the first goal in the ultimate 4-wheel drive adventure has been reached. The first day of this epic adventure has been one of many challenges. Rudy van Aarde and Johan Skeepers in their white Hilux slipping a bit here. He moves back a bit and comes through with a bit more speed. Sean Niemand and Johan van Niekerk in their stock standard Jeep. Doing surprisingly well for a vehicle with much less ground clearance than the other vehicles in this challenge. Rian Swanepoel and Hein Coetzee from Team Zone Off-Road, known for their Jeep Freak community, a group that helps to bind the lovers of 4x4 together. Cosmetically, their vehicle has had some changes made with flat fender flares and a 4.5-inch lift kit to give it that extra bit of clearance, helping a lot today, and also, it just looks cool. The wet conditions giving Sean Niemand and Johan van Niekerk some grief as their JK struggles for traction, the belly of the vehicle hanging ever so slightly on the rock. Nice recovery, my man. Back to the Jeep. With the spinning and battling for traction, they've dug a hole for themselves. Luckily, you aren't alone out here, and the guys are quick to help. Old-fashioned recovery, manpower over horsepower. They decide to pack rocks to help with traction. Just a few steps up the road, we find Ronald Herbottle and Pieter Rademeier, and they have themselves wedged between these massive rocks. After inspecting the problem, they decided with his chassis stuck the way it is, the best thing to do is to remove that huge boulder. With some Toyota power, they get it yanked out of the way. With that nuisance out the way, they pack a few rocks to just lift the rear wheels slightly, just that extra help to get the needed traction. He reverses back, he tries again. Going with an even higher line. Nicely done. Hannes and Gert Opperman having an interesting day.
First explain to me how you guys run out of petrol on a 2-kilometer trail.
You put the Chevy V8 in your Jeep and you just give it some gas.
A lot of gas. I think you got it.
No, we pinched the fuel line and we
Last
opened
night-
that up, and that's fine now.
Last night with a RTI, we pinched the fuel line between the cab and the mounting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But we
That
good to
sounds
go
a
now.
bit more plausible. than the other-
False alarm, false
Oh,
alarm.
the other-
Sean and Johan impressing us with the travel of the diff on his standard vehicle. With a good driver behind the wheel, you can get anywhere you want. Oh wait, check that slip. If this was a driver's test, that would be a fail. Just kidding. Good job, Sean. Catching up with Jenny behind the wheel of this very impressive Jeep. She is acting as Willie's co-driver, as this is her first time on an expedition such as the ultimate four-wheel drive adventure.
Not very long.
Not long. Yeah. Have you taken them off-road before?
No,
Or just on-road?
on road.
Johan Swift and Gerrit Kutsia, also from Team Zone. Johan is one of the first JK owners in the country. His vehicle has 169,000 kilometers on the clock, of which I guess he has done over 40,000 kilometers off-road. Johan is on a trail almost every weekend, and he calls his yellow Jeep Eyster. Eyster and his co-pilot are 700 meters from the campsite, so close yet so far. These wet rocks making life much more interesting. These boys don't let things like lack of traction get them down. Their diff keeps getting caught on rocks, so the co-driver pack rocks in order to lift the vehicle. This makes you wonder who works the hardest, the guy behind the wheel or the co-driver who has to jump out to pack rocks. The clouds on the horizon are starting to look a bit ominous. That extra bit of clearance giving them the edge they needed.
Jeep in the picture, but
Finally, the guys see the welcome sight of the bright flags as they have reached the fabled campsite. Our medic taking a brisk stroll to find his cruiser as he gets ready to set up for the night. Andrew and his team from Bush Aid specialize in bringing top-notch medical and emergency care for extreme events, such as the ultimate four-wheel drive adventure.
How was that first section?
Fantastic.
Is it any hassles, any highlights?
No hassles. We are beating the Jeeps. Toyota Boer.
How was that first section for you guys?
Clearly not impressed that a Toyota reached the campsite before them, the cat seems to have gotten their tongue.
Hub earlier, what's the news?
Hub is totaled. We'll have to just run it in three-wheel drive for now. Not much we can do at this time. The inner splines have actually stripped off as well, so no repairs tonight. So yeah, we'll just carry on tomorrow and see how it goes. Well, it's part of the game.
Now is the time for the teams to pitch their tents and grab a well-deserved cold one. Grateful in knowing that they have come this far and get to relax in a piece of nature few will ever get to see. Gathering around a huge bonfire to swap war stories about the day that has passed. The guys get to know each other a bit better and share their passion for all things 4x4.
That was awesome. That was great fun.
It's amazing. It's a great learning curve. We're enjoying it.
we'll be back.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
With a full stomach, it's time to turn in and rest out, for tomorrow they travel deeper into Carnage Canyon.